The remarks made by the Junior Education Minister Satyapal Singh, who says that the theory of evolution, one of the founding theories in science, something that we've all grown up with, is wrong. Satyapal Singh feels that it shouldn't be a part of the curriculum in schools or colleges, and he says that there is a great deal of logic and basis in the reason why he's decided to do this. Let's listen in to what Satyapal Singh had to say. All right, we'll try and bring in that reaction from the minister in a little while from now. But let's just go across to our guests. Joining me in the studio, Desh Ratan Nigam. He's a member of the RSS and a lawyer. Thanks very much, sir, for being with us. From Mumbai, Dr. Aniket Sule, who's written a petition. Dr. Sule is an astrophysicist. He works in the Homi Bhabha Center for Science and Education. I believe he's going to be joining us very, very shortly. And that petition is going to be sent across to the Prime Minister. Professor Chandra Sharma is a professor of education at IGNOU. Nikhil Berwal is a student who joins us from Murthal, and Krisha Sethi is a student from Chandigarh, a class 11 student who joins us as well. Mr. Nigam, what's the problem with the theory of evolution? We've all studied it. You've studied it in school, in college. It's widely accepted as being a fundamental truth. Why say that it's all wrong?
See, let me make a distinction here. What he's challenging is Darwin's theory of evolution, not the theory of evolution. There are multiple theories of evolution.
Right. So we're talking about Darwin's theory of evolution. What's wrong with it?
If people who have read Darwin, he himself said the biggest problem with his theory is lack of fossil evidence. He did not have any evidence. He expected that the future research will unearth.
And future research has already unearthed.
And no, it has not.
The spread of deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, across the world, which has been sampled, the discovery of fossils.
Let me tell you the failures where this theory has failed. No fossil evidence has come to, incomplete species.
Right.
No evidence to that effect. So what he's saying that they evolved from a simple organism to a complex organism.
Yes.
There are no species in between which have been unearthed. Only final species has been unearthed. So you cannot say that the simple organism has developed from a simple mechanism to a complex mechanism. Right. So that is what Darwin had the biggest problem. Those who have read Darwin,
why is Darwin accepted as a fundamental scientist? Everybody's wrong.
No, that was the initial theory.
Right.
Now, today what is taught in world school is modern synthetic theory, which takes
all
care
over
of
the world. Darwin is also taught.
No, it is neo-Darwinism they call it.
No, these are new theories which supplement Darwin's theory of evolution.
They do not.
Nobody rejects. There are places it's rejected, but for other reasons.
It is
not for scientific reasons.
Scientific reason also.
Okay.
Neo-Darwinism is out of respect for Darwinism. It is called Darwinism. Not that there is anything about Darwin in it.
Okay.
It has genetic mutations which he did not take into account.
Right.
He did not take into account lack of fossil evidences, incomplete species. There is no...
Fossil evidences have been found after Darwin's time.
No,
they have gone to prove that he was right.
No. What you found was the complete species, not movement from simple to complex organism.
All right, Professor. As an educator, as a scientist,
there is a state of flux.
How do you deny what he's saying? Because there are scientists around the world. There are petitions which have been signed as well, saying that Darwin was not complete in his analysis. How would you respond?
See, I would neither deny or defend or offend the arguments that the minister has said. I think we'll need to look at it from a different perspective. He has only raised a question and he has said we must research and find out.
Yes.
I think that is a very valid point as far as a minister is concerned. The only thing is that he has been a police officer and we never accept police officers as somebody learned. But don't forget,
we don't.
Yeah, we normally say that
why should we consider him to be learned?
It's not the police officer's job to get into academia.
He's an educated person. You don't get into the Indian police service without clearing the most tough exam.
But you're not expected to challenge research and things like that.
He has done his PhD on the subject.
But why don't you take a direct position?
Do
you think that the minister is right or the minister is wrong? Because I can't understand.
See, I would neither say he's right or wrong. What I would say is that he is saying that we must look at the evidences and re-examine. Where is the harm?
No, he says the curriculum needs to be changed.
Exactly.
You accept that?
It needs to be examined and then reformed.
No, he says it needs to be changed. He believes he's right.
See,
Darwin's theory of evolution of humans is scientifically wrong, is what the minister has said.
Yep.
It needs to change in school and college curriculum. Since the man is seen on earth, he has always been a man.
See,
may I intervene
I was
here?
part of
Half a second,
I
sir.
was part of a discussion where the minister had mentioned this once more in the meeting, and he is quoting scientist after scientist and book after book and findings after findings, which he says.
So you agree with what he says?
Partially, yes.
Partially.
And what he says is more important. He has quoted references from the Ved and other Indian textures. See, Vishnu, every time somebody mentions about Indian text, Indian corpus of knowledge, we start opposing it.
No, we don't oppose
that
it.
That must be
opposed. It has to be based on scientific evidence
exactly.
and logic, right?
And let us
so
examine.
It's not a blind this thing.
But
1 second, Dr. Aniket Sule joins us. I'll come to you, sir. I've got a larger panel as well. He's written a petition, an astrophysicist. Dr. Sule, you've heard what Deshratan Nigam had to say a little while earlier on, where he said that, look, there is an entire body of work that believes that Darwin's theories were essentially incomplete, and therefore a lot more needs to be done. How would you respond to that? Before you respond to what Satyapal Singh has said, how would you respond to this argument?
I will give you on a simple example. Newton gave a theory of gravitation 400 years back, and that time Newton said that this will be applicable for all cases. Now 100 years back, when we developed theory of relativity, we realized that Newton's laws as they are, Newton's rule of law of gravitation doesn't exactly work in the same way at very high speeds. So in that sense, Newton's theory was incomplete, but that doesn't mean that we stop teaching Newton's theory in the school, because it is still a perfectly valid explanation, a perfectly simple explanation for most of the cases which you see around you. Similarly, Darwin's theory, yes, it has transformed itself to more modern times as the evidence gathered, but the basic principle, the basic insight which Darwin gave us is still perfectly valid.
Okay.
How would you respond to that? May I add here? Darwin's theory does not explain the sudden extinction of dinosaurs. I had the privilege of meeting Nobel.
But there are lots of explanations for that.
No, let me give you one of the most accepted explanation given by Fred Hoyle. I had the privilege of meeting him also. He gave a mathematical model of evolution where he said these dinosaurs got extinct because of the meteors falling on the earth, creating a cloud and lowering the temperature, ushering in an ice age. Therefore, that is not taken care of by Darwin. Please remember, the sudden extinction, he's silent on it. Darwin is silent on
a specific event that happened on Earth.
So there are other
that doesn't at all. How is that linked to what Darwin has to say?
So Darwin,
he may not have accounted for that.
No, what
atmospheric changes. That's been a criticism of Darwin's work.
No, that is what I am saying. This theory has seen a lot of changes. Even today,
evolution is not necessarily linked to, for example, dinosaurs disappearing off the earth.
Evolution, yes.
That took place because of an event.
Evolution is what is evolution? Species getting extinct, new species coming in.
Evolution itself is let this not be a debate between you and me.
Therefore, let me just 1 second. Therefore, this theory of evolution, I'm not talking about Darwin, is still in a state of flux. A lot of people believe in theory A, a lot of people believe in theory B. As more evidences is coming out.
Is that good enough to get rid of Darwin from our school text?
See, you've got to teach Darwin, but at the same time, you have to tell these are the limitations of Darwin.
See, what should be the takeaway from the minister's statement? Minister has given a very good clue to the making of curriculum, to my understanding.
He said we
have just been teaching Darwin and nothing else. He has quoted many texts, many scientific evidences and findings which I believe should become part of the curriculum.
Aniket, can you tell us
including those that we have from the Indian text.
Aniket, can you share with us your views on the need to incorporate an Indian understanding of science within our overall explanation of science, that it may be because of the way we've been brought up, the way we've been educated, okay to believe in Darwin and believe that that is the way it is, but in that process are we discounting what others have said, as ridiculous sometimes as it may sound?
See, I will be one of the first persons to say that Indian perspective should be included. For last few years, I have been working on research on history of astronomy in India. And there are a lot of good things which were first theorized by Indian researchers for about 1000 years back or 1500 years back. We should all definitely celebrate all this, but Darwin is not the correct place. My objection is to the cases where even every modern theory they want to push in some Indian context.
No, but they say the opposite. They say it from the opposite standpoint as well. They say that modern day theories need to be balanced with a greater Indian understanding of science. So, you know, I mean, they say just the opposite of what you're saying.
No, so I'm saying where it is actually an achievement, we should definitely include that. But we should not try to reverse engineer every theory to must have Indian perspective.
Okay, I just want to go across to Krisha Sethi, who joins us, a student of British School, Chandigarh. Krisha, when you hear a debate like this, and you would have been taught about Darwin and what Darwin spoke about, what do you feel? Do you believe we need to look beyond Darwin, or do you believe that there are people in this country who are regressive?
Well, when the first time I heard that Darwin's theory was wrong, it was quite surprising because Darwin's theory was supported by Mendel's experiment. Darwin was not able to tell how how variations occurred, but Mendel did that. And now when people say that Indian mythology, there are certain things that they say about how new species were formed, but
Okay, we've lost that Skype connection with her. I want to go to Nikhil Berwal. Nikhil, how do you, as a young student, feel when you listen to this entire argument?
See, first of all, I would like to say that in case of Darwin, many new research have come and they have supported him a lot. If we go back to Human Genome Project that was conducted by 7 countries and 20 universities across the world, it proved that humans, we are so complicated, but we have only 23,000 different type of genetic orders. And that 23,000 type of genetic orders are quite similar to those of the apes and the other mammals on earth. And if we go back to Darwin's theory that it was conducted in a large span of 30 years. Okay.
Yes.
It was not just, he did not give it overnight.